The Big Bang must have produced a cosmos and a solar system, including the Earth, that had the chemicals required to support life. Then we must ask how and when did events occur that got us from the basic chemistry set to those first cells. In other words, we have to propose where the free energy came from to infuse inorganic matter with life, along with rational pathways and timelines for the different events. Then we need to think about those events. For example, the formation of organic molecules, the origin of polymers, nucleic acids, enzymes, whose actions were the beginnings of copying or reiterating chemical reactions, the linkage of biochemical reactions in metabolic pathways, the origin of information storage and retrieval, the packaging of metabolism behind semi-permeable membranes. Finally, we must realize that many of these experiments in prebiotic biochemistries would have been concurrent rather than sequential. For example, semi-permeable membranes did not suddenly surround just the right mixture of biochemicals to make a cell. Rather, the biochemistries and metabolisms and the storage and retrieval of information must have been taking place within semi-permeable packages even before life in what might be called a protocell, so that the grand prebiotic experiment that led to life was pretty much a collaborative adventure from the get-go. And any explanations we come up with must be consistent with phylogenies that place life into three domains. Here they are. Recall that archaea include many extremophiles like the heat-loving thermophilic bacteria. And recall that archaea and eukaryota are more closely related to each other than either is to the true bacteria. We can define the organism that gave rise to all organisms in this phylogeny, and thus all organisms alive today, as our last universal common ancestor, or LUCA, L-U-C-A. This is shown at the root of the phylogeny. The LUCA is sometimes also called the progenote, as we heard in an earlier presentation. But that term was originally meant to designate the very first true cell. LUCA would be a descendant of the progenote. And if abiogenesis occurred more than once, then maybe the concept of a progenote would be moot, or we would have to think of multiple progenotes.